What's up, basketball fans? Welcome back to the channel. Tonight, we're diving into the drama surrounding the Indiana Fever's tough loss to the Washington Mystics. But this wasn't just another loss. This one hit differently because the Fever were missing their superstar rookie Caitlin Clark. And let's just say, Sophie Cunningham did not hold back when she spoke after the game. From frustration to some brutally honest words, her reaction is now the talk of the WNBA world. So grab your popcorn, because in this video we're breaking down exactly what went down. The Fever struggles without Clark, Sophie Cunningham's fiery comments, what this loss really means for Indiana, and the bigger conversation about Caitlin Clark's undeniable impact on the league. The game without Caitlin Clark. Let's start with the game itself. The Indiana Fever rolled into Washington already at a disadvantage. Caitlin Clark, their offensive engine and the face of the franchise, was unavailable. And it showed big time. The Mystics came out strong, controlling the pace and exploiting the Fever's weaknesses. Without Clark's floor vision, deep shooting, and ability to draw defenders, Indiana looked disjointed. Their offense stalled, their spacing was off, and turnovers piled up. Yes, Aaliyah Boston did her best to carry the load inside, putting up solid numbers, but it wasn't enough. Washington's defense focused heavily on the paint, daring Indiana's guards to beat them from outside. And without Caitlin spreading the floor, the Fever just couldn't answer. By halftime, it was clear this game was slipping away. Indiana trailed badly, and even when they tried to make mini runs, the Mystics always had a response. The final score wasn't just a defeat, it was a statement. The Fever without Caitlin Clark are a completely different team. Sophie Cunningham speaks out. Now here's where things get really interesting. After the game, Sophie Cunningham didn't sugarcoat anything. Known for her fiery competitiveness and outspoken nature, Cunningham made it clear she wasn't happy. Reporters asked her about the Fever's performance, and Sophie admitted that the team looked lost without Caitlin. She said, quote, "We've got to be better. One player can't be the whole team. We've got to show some fight, some heart. Right now, we're not doing that." That's a pretty bold statement. Some fans see it as a challenge to her teammates, a wake-up call. Others think it was frustration boiling over, directed at the entire organization. Either way, Sophie's message was clear. The Fever can't keep leaning entirely on Clark to save them. And honestly, she has a point. This Indiana roster is young, but professional athletes have to step up when a star goes down. Instead, the Mystics exposed every weakness the Fever had, and Sophie was visibly angry about it. She didn't hold back, and in today's social media world, those comments spread fast. The problem without Clark. Let's zoom out for a moment and talk about the real issue here. Why does the Fever look so helpless without Caitlin Clark? Clark isn't just their best scorer, she's their floor general. Her playmaking creates opportunities for teammates like Kelsey Mitchell and Alyssa Smith. She stretches defenses with her deep three-point shooting, opening up the paint for Boston. She controls tempo, she attracts double teams, and she has a leadership presence on the court. Without her, Indiana loses all of that. Their offense slows to a crawl. Their spacing shrinks. And players who normally thrive off Clark's playmaking suddenly look average. It's not just about points, it's about identity. This team's entire identity has already been shaped around Caitlin Clark, even though she's a rookie. That's both a compliment to her talent and a problem for the Fever, because when she's gone, there's no plan B. Sophie Cunningham clearly sees this problem. She knows the Fever need to develop a secondary playmaker, someone who can carry the load when Clark isn't there. Until that happens, every game without Caitlin is going to be a struggle. Sophie's leadership and competitive fire. Now, let's talk about Sophie herself. Cunningham has always been one of the WNBA's most competitive players. From her time with the Phoenix Mercury to now with Indiana, she's been known as a scrappy, fearless guard who isn't afraid of anyone. That same fire is what came out in her post-game comments. Some fans love it. They say this is the kind of leadership the Fever need. Someone to call out the lack of effort and demand accountability. Others think it might cause friction in the locker room. But one thing is for sure, Sophie Cunningham wants to win. And she's not going to pretend everything is fine when the Fever are getting blown out. Her comments show she's passionate, she cares, and she refuses to accept mediocrity. That mentality could be exactly what Indiana needs to start turning things around. The bigger impact of Caitlin Clark. This whole situation also highlights something bigger. Just how much Caitlin Clark means to the WNBA right now. Think about it. She's a rookie, but she's already the face of her team and one of the biggest draws in the league. Her games are selling out arenas, breaking TV ratings records, and drawing mainstream attention. Even opponents admit she changes everything. And now, we see the other side. When she's not on the floor, the Fever collapse. That just underscores how valuable she is, not just to Indiana, but to the league as a whole. The WNBA has been searching for a breakout star to elevate its profile, and Caitlin Clark is that star. But with that comes pressure. The Fever are realizing they can't just lean on her every night. They need others to rise up if they want to be more than a one-player show. What this loss means moving forward. So what does all this mean moving forward? For the Fever, this game should be a wake-up call. Relying too heavily on Caitlin Clark isn't sustainable. Injuries, foul trouble, or even just off nights happen. If they don't find ways to win without her, they'll never become a true contender. For Sophie Cunningham, her comments might be a turning point. She's setting the tone, demanding accountability. Whether her teammates respond positively or negatively could shape the rest of the Fever season. And for Caitlin Clark herself, this shows just how much pressure she carries. It's rare for a rookie to have this kind of weight on her shoulders, but that's the reality. Indiana needs her not just for highlights, but for survival. Fan reactions. Of course, fans had a lot to say after this game. On social media, many praised Sophie Cunningham for being brutally honest. Some said her fire was exactly what the team needed. Others criticized her, suggesting she was throwing teammates under the bus. Clark's absence also sparked debates about the WNBA's dependency on its rising stars. Some argue the league needs more depth across all teams, while others say this just proves how special Caitlin Clark truly is. The bottom line? This loss and Sophie's comments are bigger than just one game. They become a talking point for the entire league. Final thoughts. To wrap it all up, yes, the Fever lost badly to the Mystics, but the real story is Sophie Cunningham speaking her mind. She didn't hold back, and now the whole league is listening. Her words highlighted the Fever's biggest issue, over-reliance on Caitlin Clark. Until Indiana finds balance and other players step up, this will keep happening. But with veterans like Sophie pushing for accountability, maybe this could be the spark they need to grow. At the end of the day, this isn't just about one loss. It's about identity, leadership, and the future of a team built around one of the brightest young stars in basketball. Conclusion. So what do you think? Was Sophie Cunningham right to call out the team? Or did she go too far with her comments? And how much do you think Caitlin Clark's absence really hurt the Fever in this game? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'll be replying to as many as I can. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed the breakdown, and subscribe for more WNBA updates, Caitlin Clark highlights, and all the latest drama from around the league. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.